Sherman. They are the hosts and Behind the Mitten, and we get a little show from them. And every Thursday morning, we welcome them in here with the CFX Breakfast Flakes. So, John, Amy, welcome in today. How are we today on this beautiful spring day?
Good morning. We're doing great.
So there's a little football game this weekend. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it happens on Sunday. And unfortunately, our beloved Lions did not quite make it.
It's close, though.
Did not quite make it to the game. But this weekend, you guys are celebrating all things Lions.
We are, because who cares about that big game? We care about our boys in Honolulu Blue. And so we wanted to say thank you to them for such a historic, amazing, awesome season. So our entire show this weekend is all about the Detroit Lions. And we kick it off with our good friend Earl Bovia from Bay City Bills. He's a super fan of the Lions, a season ticket holder, and actually attended a bunch of the games this year with Gonzo.
Oh, nice, John. So, I mean, yeah, I'm assuming that you know a little bit about the Lions.
A little bit. I'll be totally honest with you. I was one of those fans that, like, same old Lions. Even a couple of years ago, Amy would punch me, literally punch me when I'm like, I'm not watching the Lions anymore. And but I went to a game a couple seasons ago, got the bug back in me, started sipping on the Kool-Aid, and this year went all in, and it was a magical year. And the whole show is talking about that magic. And Earl's great on the show because we did bond down there together over a few beverages and watching the team play. We also have on the show a chef that's a good friend of both of us. She has a book out about Michigan. And what's the name of the book, Amy?
It's called Meals from the Mitten, and she has a bunch of seasonal recipes from across the state of Michigan, but one of her dishes is called Defend the Den, and it's this crazy burger that she debuted on the Rachel Ray Show, and she's actually competed on the Rachel Ray Show and has made it to the semifinals like multiple times with this burger, and she thought for sure this would be her year because of the Lions, but it wasn't. But you guys can hear her story. She also owns businesses over in Ludington in the Hart region in Michigan, so her name's Gina Werder, and we just love her.
Sunday morning, 7 o'clock, Behind the Mitten. You get the whole show.
A little birdie told me, somebody told me that you have another special guest on this weekend's show.
We do. I was fortunate to meet the parade marshal in Traverse City of the National Cherry Festival last summer, Rob Sims, a former player. A lot of people will know his name, especially if you're a Lions fan. He played with Calvin Johnson and all those guys back in those days. And he and Calvin have a little side business going on. But I'll tell you what, it was great to talk to him. He's from Ohio originally, but now lives in Michigan, has been here for the last 15 years. They love Michigan. He talks about traveling the state, and he talks about even how he was surprised at how well the Lions did this year. But he says, we're building it, and we're going to go further next year.
Absolutely.
That's the plan.
I was so happy they made it as far as they did this year. I thought they would get into the playoffs and they might win a game, but winning two and getting in, next year, I'm telling you, next year. Now you gotta go in steps. And next year's the big one.
All right. So John Gonzalez, Amy Sherman, Behind the Mitten, Sunday morning at 7. You can get the whole show. And if you guys got a couple of minutes here, we have a fun little Facebook question today. And actually, Kent and I, we what do you say? We predicted what your answers are going to be.
I got a little Schwemmy music to put us in the mood here. And the question is, what is one thing you cannot live without? And we have predicted. I have
we both have sealed envelopes.
This is what John's going to say.
This is what Amy's going to say right here in this envelope.
So who wants to go first?
I want John to go first.
They pointed at each other. All right, we're gonna go top to bottom. John's on the top of the screen here. John Gonzalez, what is one thing you can't live without?
So I initially would say craft beer, but I've given it up for Lent before. It's old hat. I've done it. It's not a big deal to me. But I could not give. I've tried giving this up for Lent before, and I can't do it. Nachos.
Nachos are the answer. Kent, your prediction. Open your envelope.
Prediction for John this morning is Mackinac Island fudge.
Okay, a close second.
Oh, we were close.
A close second.
Food. We were close with food.
Great guess. That is such a good guess.
Oh, Amy, I got my prediction right here in this envelope. What's one thing you cannot live without?
Okay, boys. Well, I wasn't sure if we were going like practical. I need to survive the zombie apocalypse.
No.
Like comforting, So If it's practical, I'm going to say my chef's knife. I need that.
Okay.
If it's
Okay.
practical, it would be this thing, my emotional support sweatshirt. That I wear.
Really? All right. I opened. Let's see. What did I say?
Oh, we were totally wrong.
I was totally wrong on this one. I can hold this up to the camera.
What did you write? I can't
Beer.
see it.
I said, you know what?
Beer.
Amy's answer
Amy's
is
answer
going to
is
be
gonna be
beer.
I can live without it, guys. I love it, but I can live without it.
So we were both wrong this morning.
Oh, man. All right. Well, John and Amy, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Behind the Mitten. It's today's Hits 95.3 CFX.
Classic.